Every morning, millions of people over the age of 65 wake up believing that simply getting out of bed is enough to start the day. The alarm rings, or perhaps there is no alarm anymore. The eyes open, the feet touch the floor, and within minutes, the same routine begins. A cup of coffee, a quick glance at the news, sitting in a favorite chair, maybe checking messages or turning on the television. It feels comfortable, familiar, harmless. But what if this ordinary routine contains a mistake so common that almost nobody notices it? Not because it is dramatic, not because it causes immediate pain, but because it quietly sends your body the wrong message every single morning. Think about your body like a city waking up before sunrise. During the night, many systems slowed down. Your heart worked at a different rhythm. Your muscles rested for hours without movement. Your brain entered cycles of repair and memory organization. Your kidneys carefully balanced fluids. Your hormones followed a schedule that has been refined through millions of years of evolution. Morning is the moment when that entire city switches back on. Imagine walking into a factory just as the workers arrive. Machines are being warmed up. Conveyor belts are starting to move. Lights are turning on section by section. If someone suddenly demands full speed production before everything is ready, problems appear almost immediately. Your body works in much the same way. After several hours of sleep, your joints are naturally stiffer. Blood has been redistributed while you were lying down. Your muscles have not contracted for many hours. Even your balance system needs a few moments to recalibrate as you move from lying down to standing. Yet many people ignore this transition completely. Some jump out of bed too quickly. Others remain sitting for an hour without moving. Some reach for coffee before drinking a single glass of water. Others skip breakfast altogether or spend the first part of the morning almost completely inactive. None of these actions seem dangerous on their own. In fact, they often feel normal because they have been repeated for years. The remarkable thing about the human body is that it constantly adapts to the signals it receives. Every morning is like casting a vote. Are you telling your body that today requires strength, movement, and alertness? Or are you telling it that conserving energy is the priority? The body listens more carefully than most people realize. As we grow older, these signals become increasingly important. The systems that once bounced back effortlessly in our 20s or 30s become more sensitive. Muscles respond differently. Blood vessels become less flexible. Balance requires more input from muscles and nerves. Recovery takes longer. This doesn't mean the body stops adapting. Quite the opposite. It continues adapting every day. But it adapts to whatever lifestyle you repeatedly give it. That's why the biggest morning mistake isn't usually one dramatic habit. It's treating the first hour of the day as though it doesn't matter. In reality, that first hour is like the opening chapter of a book. It sets the tone for everything that follows. A sluggish beginning often leads to less movement, lower energy, and more sitting throughout the day. An active, thoughtful beginning encourages the opposite. The encouraging news is that your body doesn't expect perfection. It doesn't require expensive equipment, complicated routines, or superhuman discipline. It simply responds to consistent, healthy signals repeated day after day. And once you understand how much influence those first morning choices have, you begin to see that what feels like an ordinary routine may actually be shaping how well you age. One sunrise at a time. Every morning, something extraordinary happens inside your body before you've spoken a single word or taken your first sip of water. A carefully timed sequence of biological events begins unfolding, almost like an orchestra where every instrument knows exactly when to join. This is your body's morning reset system, and it has been guiding human life for thousands of generations. Most people never notice it because it happens quietly. You cannot hear your hormones changing. You cannot feel every nerve becoming more alert. You cannot watch millions of cells adjusting their activity, yet these invisible changes influence nearly everything that follows during the rest of your day. Think of your body as a smartphone that has been charging overnight. During sleep, it isn't simply turned off. It is updating software, organizing files, repairing small errors, and restoring power. When morning arrives, the phone doesn't instantly perform at full speed the moment you unplug it. It needs a few moments to reconnect, load its systems, and prepare for the demands ahead. Your body follows a remarkably similar pattern. As daylight approaches, your internal clock begins sending signals throughout your brain and body. Hormones that promote deep sleep begin to fade, while hormones that increase alertness gradually rise. Your heart prepares to pump more efficiently as you become active. Your digestive system starts anticipating food. Your muscles become ready for movement after hours of rest. This entire process is designed around one expectation: that you will begin moving. For most of human history, morning meant leaving a place of rest to search for food, gather water, tend crops, or care for family. The human body evolved expecting gentle activity soon after waking, not remaining motionless in a chair for long periods. When movement happens early, remarkable things occur. Muscles begin contracting, helping push blood back toward the heart. Joints receive fresh lubrication, making movement smoother and more comfortable. The lungs expand more deeply, bringing additional oxygen to tissues that have been relatively inactive during sleep. Even the brain benefits as increased circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients needed for concentration and memory. Hydration also plays an important role in this reset. During the night, your body continues losing water through breathing and perspiration. By morning, even mild dehydration can make you feel tired, sluggish, or less mentally sharp. Replacing that fluid helps support circulation, temperature regulation, and countless chemical reactions taking place inside your cells. Light is another powerful signal. When natural sunlight reaches your eyes, specialized cells send messages directly to the brain's biological clock. This reinforces your daily rhythm, helping you feel more awake during the day and making it easier to sleep again when night arrives. It's one of the simplest ways to keep your internal timing system working as intended. After the age of 65, this morning reset becomes even more valuable. The body's internal clock may become less precise. Muscles naturally lose strength if they aren't regularly challenged, and balance depends more heavily on consistent movement. Rather than seeing these changes as unavoidable decline, it's helpful to think of them as reminders that the body's systems benefit from clearer daily signals. The first 30 to 60 minutes after waking are not magical because of the clock. They matter because they are the moment when your body is deciding how to operate for the hours ahead. Every healthy choice, standing up carefully, drinking water, exposing yourself to daylight, moving your muscles, nourishing your body, reinforces the message that today is a day to stay active, capable, and engaged. Your body is constantly listening. Every morning it asks the same quiet question: how should I prepare for today? And with the habits you practice during those first moments after waking, you provide the answer. When you're young, your body is remarkably forgiving. You can stay up too late, skip breakfast, spend hours sitting, or neglect exercise for a few days, and often you'll recover without noticing much difference. It's as if your body has a large savings account of resilience. Every system has extra capacity. Your muscles repair quickly. Your balance adjusts almost instantly. Your heart and blood vessels respond efficiently to changing demands. But as the years pass, that reserve gradually becomes smaller. This isn't a sign that the body is failing. It's simply how living systems work. Every machine experiences wear over time. Every tree grows more slowly as it ages. The human body is no different. Yet unlike a machine, your body is alive. It constantly repairs itself, rebuilds damaged tissues, and adapts to the challenges you give it. The important question isn't whether change happens after 65. It certainly does. The real question is whether those changes encourage strength or accelerate decline. One of the biggest differences is muscle. Beginning in later adulthood, muscle mass naturally decreases if it isn't regularly used. This process doesn't happen overnight, and it isn't inevitable in the same way for everyone. Muscles respond to activity at every age. Even people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond can improve strength with appropriate exercise. But the body needs a reason to keep that muscle. If mornings begin with long periods of inactivity day after day, the body may gradually conclude that less muscle is necessary. Balance changes for similar reasons. Standing upright looks effortless, but it's actually one of the most complex tasks your brain performs. Your eyes, inner ears, nerves, joints, and muscles constantly exchange information to keep you stable. These systems become slightly less sensitive with age, which means they benefit even more from regular movement and practice. Gentle activity in the morning helps remind these systems how to work together, reinforcing coordination that supports confidence throughout the day. Your circulation also changes over time. Blood vessels gradually become less flexible than they were decades earlier. That means the heart and arteries may need a little more help adjusting when you move from lying down to standing, or from resting to walking. Starting the day gradually, allowing the body to wake up with gentle movement rather than sudden effort or prolonged stillness, gives the cardiovascular system time to adapt comfortably. The brain also responds differently after 65. While some aspects of thinking may slow slightly, the brain remains capable of learning, adapting, and forming new connections throughout life. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself through experience. Morning movement, hydration, exposure to daylight, and meaningful activity all provide signals that support this remarkable ability. The brain thrives on stimulation, not just mental puzzles but physical movement as well. Metabolism changes too. The body often becomes less efficient at regulating blood sugar, and recovering from large swings in energy may take longer. This makes healthy morning habits even more valuable, because they help create a steadier foundation for the rest of the day. Perhaps the most important change after 65 is that small habits begin producing larger consequences. A missed opportunity for movement isn't just one quiet morning. Repeated over months and years, it can contribute to weaker muscles, poorer balance, reduced endurance, and greater dependence. On the other hand, a simple routine of standing, stretching, walking, hydrating, and nourishing your body each morning can gradually build resilience in exactly those same systems. Aging doesn't mean your body stops responding. In many ways, it means your body starts paying closer attention. Every morning becomes a conversation between your habits and your biology. The choices you make after waking aren't about trying to become 30 years old again. They're about giving the body you have today the strongest possible reason to stay capable, independent, and ready for whatever tomorrow brings. By now, you might be wondering what a better morning actually looks like. Is it an hour-long workout? A complicated routine with expensive supplements? A strict schedule that only athletes can follow? Surprisingly, the answer is no. The human body doesn't demand perfection. It responds to simple, consistent signals. In fact, some of the most powerful morning habits take only a few minutes, yet they communicate something important to nearly every system in your body. It's time to wake up, move, and prepare for the day. The first signal is hydration. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body has gone a long time without taking in fluids. Throughout the night, you continue losing water through breathing and perspiration. Even this mild fluid loss can make circulation slightly less efficient and leave you feeling sluggish. Drinking a glass of water soon after waking is one of the easiest ways to help restore normal fluid balance. It isn't a miracle cure, but it gives your heart, blood vessels, kidneys, and countless cells the resources they need to begin the day functioning smoothly. The next signal is light. For thousands of years, the rising sun served as humanity's natural alarm clock. Long before electricity existed, morning sunlight told the brain that a new day had begun. That system still exists inside you today. When natural light reaches your eyes, specialized cells send messages to your brain's internal clock. Those messages help reduce lingering sleepiness, improve alertness, and reinforce the body's daily rhythm. Spending even a few minutes near a bright window or stepping outside in the morning can help strengthen this biological timing system. Then comes movement. Notice that we're not talking about running a marathon or lifting heavy weights before breakfast. The body simply wants to know that it's no longer asleep. Gentle stretching, A short walk, climbing a few stairs, or performing a few slow chair squats can begin activating muscles that have been resting all night. As those muscles contract, they help improve circulation, lubricate joints, and remind your nervous system that balance and coordination will be needed throughout the day. Think of it like warming up a musical instrument before a performance. A violin sounds better after the strings have been tuned. An engine runs more smoothly after it has warmed up. Your muscles and joints behave much the same way. They perform better when they are awakened gradually rather than being expected to work at full capacity without preparation. Nutrition provides another important message. During the night, your body has continued using energy to keep your heart beating, your lungs breathing, and your brain active. A balanced breakfast that includes protein, fiber, and other nutritious foods gives your body building materials to repair tissues and maintain muscle. Protein is particularly important after 65 because muscles require regular stimulation and adequate nutrition to remain strong. Skipping nourishment entirely or relying only on sugary foods can leave energy levels rising quickly and then falling just as fast. Perhaps just as important is avoiding the temptation to remain seated for long stretches immediately after waking. It's easy to settle into a comfortable chair with coffee and television, but the body interprets prolonged inactivity differently than brief rest. Remaining still for too long delays many of the natural adjustments your muscles, circulation, and joints are prepared to make. Even a few minutes of gentle activity before sitting can change the message your body receives. None of these habits are extraordinary by themselves. A glass of water, a little sunlight, a short walk, a nourishing meal, they may seem almost too ordinary to matter. Yet biology often works through ordinary actions repeated consistently, not dramatic efforts performed once in a while. Healthy aging rarely depends on one spectacular decision. It grows from hundreds of small choices that quietly reinforce one another. Every morning offers another opportunity to tell your body that strength is still needed, balance is still important, movement is still expected, and life is still meant to be lived with energy. Over time, those simple messages can become some of the most powerful investments you ever make in your future health. When people hear the words, living longer, they often imagine breakthrough medicines, expensive treatments, or some hidden secret that only a handful of experts know. We tend to believe that extending life must require something dramatic, because the goal itself feels so extraordinary. But nature often works in the opposite way. The greatest changes usually begin with the smallest actions repeated consistently over time. Think about a river carving its way through solid rock. It doesn't accomplish that in a single day. There isn't one powerful wave that suddenly creates a canyon. Instead, countless tiny drops of water, moving in the same direction year after year, reshape the landscape. By themselves, each drop seems insignificant. Together, they transform mountains. Your body works much the same way. It doesn't remember only what you did yesterday. It responds to the pattern you've created over weeks, months, and years. Every healthy morning becomes another small vote in favor of stronger muscles, better balance, healthier circulation, and sharper thinking. One morning won't change your life, but hundreds of mornings can. This is encouraging because it means you don't have to become a different person overnight. You don't need perfect discipline. You don't need to exercise for hours every day or follow an impossible routine. What matters most is consistency. Imagine two people who are both 70 years old. The first wakes up each morning, remains seated for long periods, moves only when necessary, and assumes that feeling weaker is simply an unavoidable part of aging. The second drinks a glass of water after waking, spends a few minutes in natural light, walks around the house or outside, gently stretches, eats a nourishing breakfast with enough protein, and stays physically active throughout the day whenever possible. At the end of 1 week, they probably won't look very different. After 1 month, the differences may still be difficult to notice. But after several years, those small daily decisions begin to add up. The second person may find it easier to climb stairs, carry groceries, recover from illness, maintain balance, and continue enjoying hobbies that require strength and independence. The remarkable thing is that these improvements don't happen because the body suddenly becomes younger. They happen because the body never stopped adapting. Scientists have discovered again and again that the human body remains surprisingly responsive throughout later life. Muscles continue strengthening when challenged appropriately. Bones respond to weight-bearing activity. The cardiovascular system benefits from regular movement. The brain continues forming new connections through learning and physical activity. Even sleep quality and mood can improve when healthy habits become part of a daily routine. Of course, no routine can guarantee a specific lifespan. No one can promise an extra 30 years. Genetics, environment, medical conditions, and chance all play important roles in how long we live. But what we can influence is how well we live the years we have. For most people, that goal is even more meaningful. Living longer matters only if those years are filled with independence, curiosity, meaningful relationships, and the ability to participate in everyday life. Being able to walk confidently, play with grandchildren, travel, garden, cook, or simply rise from a chair without assistance often brings more happiness than adding years without health. Perhaps that's the biggest lesson of all. Healthy aging isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting the abilities that make life enjoyable. Every morning offers a fresh opportunity to invest in that future. A glass of water, a few minutes of movement, sunlight on your face, nourishing food, and the decision to stay active may seem ordinary in the moment. Yet repeated day after day, these simple choices become something extraordinary. They become a quiet promise to your future self, a promise that you're giving your body every opportunity to remain strong, capable, and ready to enjoy whatever years still lie ahead.